was #1.
Bang, I rep BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal. I rep BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal.
Good news. This nigga Pooh Shiesty lawyer done came out and said some shit on the Law and Crime Network. He slams Gucci Man. What? This crazy work, guys. We finna get.
Remember how we covered the breaking news of?
We're finna get into the motherfucking sidebar, man. If you didn't know, man. Damn. If you didn't know, man, I don't know where you been at, gang. And I said, nigga, check Vlad. Oh, ooh. Wicked. Wicked checks Vlad. Ooh. Oh, we're gonna have to look at that shit. But anyway, right now we on this shiesty way, man. Goddamn me shiesty state lawyer done came out and made a statement, man. He talking about the case, man. So we finna get it in, man. We finna get the update on shiesty, man. What happened? What up? What up? Hold on, man. Let me fix my shit, y'all. On Instagram, man, I be trying to let y'all be looking at what I'm looking at. But on goddamn YouTube, man, nah, man, we ain't be trying to do all that, man. Yo, there we go. All right, there we go. Yo, man, we ain't trying to do all that on the YouTube, man. We trying to let y'all hear this shit and see this shit clear, very clear. But anyway, this nigga lawyer came out. I think his lawyer named Bradford Cohen. What's his nigga name? Let me not fuck up his name. Hold on. Hold on, gang. Hold on, chat. Let me get this nigga name right, man. Bradford. He got one of them. The wifo name. I can't say that shit. Let me get my boy name right. Damn. Is that nigga daddy free head? Yeah, that nigga daddy snitch, man. Oh, bye. That nigga died by the snitch, man. Man, what's that nigga name, man? Yeah. Wait, we should put that nigga name, man. What's that nigga name? I just see. Okay. Bradford Cohen. Okay. My boy Bradford made a statement. And it wasn't FDO, man, fuck the Fed, you know what I'm saying? But my boy made a statement giving us an update on Shiesty in the case, man. We finna run down this shit.
Arrested on allegations that he partook in a kidnapping and robbery of reportedly Gucci Mane and others at a studio in Texas. Well, we now have Pooh Shiesty's attorney, Bradford Cohen, right here on Sidebar. He's representing him in this new criminal case. I want to find out his responses to the government's claims, the government's purported evidence, and how his client is currently doing. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, real quick before we go any further, I have to tell you guys about this app that I think you're gonna love. It is called Upside, okay? Upside gets you cash back, extra cash back on everyday purchases like gas, groceries, takeout. So here's what you do. You download Upside for free, you claim an offer at one of their 100,000 plus locations, you pay like normal with your card, you verify the purchase, and just like that, money back. So say I need to get gas or I want takeout one night, I'll search for Upside offers first, and after I spend, money appears in my app that I can transfer right into my bank account. And by the way, Upside's frequent users, they earn an average of $254 back a year. So to start getting your cash back, click the link in the description or scan the QR code, but make sure to use promo code SIDEBAR because you get an extra 25 cents bonus on every gallon on your first tank of gas. So you can check it out. So it was last week that we covered the breaking news about the arrest of all of these people that the feds say were involved in this alleged robbery and kidnapping of rapper Gucci Mane and others. But now we have the attorney for one of the suspects, rapper Pooh Shiesty. In fact, as the Department of Justice puts it in their release statement, to give you an idea about what we're talking about here, quote, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, were federally charged for kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas, announced United States Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Ryan Raybould. 8 of the 9 were arrested in Dallas, Texas and Memphis, Tennessee, and the charged defendants include Lontrell Williams Jr., a.k.a. Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., a.k.a. Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Terrence Rogers, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel. Oh, and remember how I said 8 out of 9? Well, we have an update. The FBI's Atlanta office apparently confirmed to CBS News, this is per reporting from the St. Louis American, that the 9th suspect, Terrence Rogers, was arrested at an Atlanta home by the Violent Crime Squad. Okay, so I want to go piece by piece on this with Pooh Shiesty's attorney, renowned criminal defense lawyer to the stars, friend of the show, Bradford Cohen. Bradford, always good to see you. Thanks for taking the time.
Always good to be here. Always good to be here.
Now, first of all, for people who don't know, you previously represented Pooh Shiesty, and we're going to go through this more specifically, but just your general thoughts on this case when the news broke.
General thoughts are, I also like Gucci Mane a lot, the alleged victim in this case. I mean, I've worked with him a lot in the past. I worked with him on Pooh Shiesty's first case. I think he was the reason why I got involved in the first case. The whole thing is kind of really a shame because I think there's a lot that can be done with both Pooh and Gucci going forward. I thought they both were going to really make a lot of money and do really well because I think that there is just a lot there in terms of talent between the two of them. So I was disappointed to hear Gucci's side of the story, and I wanted to find out more when I first heard about it.
And we're going to go through that. We'll go through a little bit of the prior case because it affects this one. We'll talk about the nature of the relationship. But first, just the current status of your client, because I understand a judge ruled that he has to stay detained. He's in custody right now. Is that true?
Correct. So what happened was the government, after 3 or 4 months of this case and investigation, they never indicted. They actually filed a complaint, which is quite unusual on a high-profile case. Usually on a high-profile case where you're going to do a press release, put it out there, all this information and all these different things that are going on, you usually want to...
Damn, man, that was Kobe and Shaq. Damn, Kobe and Shaq, man. Yeah. Now it's like Tekashi and the 9 Trey Bloods. Like,
have an indictment in hand, but they had a complaint. A complaint is usually done where they think there's a rush to get it done. You don't see complaints where it's usually 4 months of investigation. So that was unusual. And now that the complaint has been filed and he's being held no bond, now they're now seeking to get an indictment.
Why do you think that is? Was it the idea of they were concerned the suspects would leave or something would get leaked? I mean, why would they rush to do that then?
I think it was, I don't know. I think that it wasn't smart. I just never seen it before. I've never seen in a high profile case getting a complaint instead of getting an indictment. If I was to guess, I think it was because the individuals that were involved were not cooperating with giving statements to the FBI. They gave statements that night to the Dallas Police Department. But since that night, they have not given statements to the FBI. So if I was to guess, I would say they didn't want to go in front of a grand jury without any victim statements, current victim statements, or current victim contact. And that was my guess at the time. And since then, Gucci came out with a song, so I don't know what the status of cooperating is.
I want to ask you that. So I clearly have a lot I have to ask you. Before we get into that, how is Pooh Shiesty doing? How's he doing?
He's holding up. It's like any defendant, right? You know, there's ups and downs in cases, and you know this. We've been kind of talking about different cases for a very long time, and we know there's going to be high points in cases, low points in cases, so everyone deals with those things differently. Pooh he's always have a positive attitude. I have a good
A nigga goddamn me called my boy by his nickname, Pooh. See, let me tell you about Pooh.
Conversation with him about the case, a good conversation about how we move forward from there. So he's staying positive, just like any defendant should. It doesn't do you any good to get depressed or get angry about things. It's like, you know, you got to stay focused on your case. I tell all my clients that. Stay focused on the case. Make sure you're ready for war, because that's basically what these cases are, and just prepare yourself for that.
And that's what I want to get into. I want to get into the case. I want to get into the alleged evidence that was put forward by the government and see your response to it. So according to this affidavit, I just want to set the stage here and try to understand the relationship, because according to it, the government, it claims that on January 10th, 2026, the alleged victims, who are only identified by initials and include RD, which we have to assume is Gucci Mane, real name Roderick Davis, that they were allegedly robbed and kidnapped at gunpoint at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. And there was apparently a scheduled meeting between RD and Pooh Shiesty, Latrell Williams Jr. And apparently, Pooh Shiesty was reportedly signed to RD's record label, 1017 Records. They say this meeting was apparently about a contract dispute that Williams had wanted out. I throw it to you, Bradford. First, what can you tell us about that? What can you tell us about the nature of their relationship?
You know, I didn't have a lot to do with like how their relationship was or was not in business. I wasn't his musical lawyer or entertainment lawyer. I know that they did have a contract together because during his first case, Gucci was very involved in terms of what's going on. He was concerned for how things were going in the case and how the result was going to be at the end of the day and what the result.
Damn, so this is a tight spot for the lawyer. He went from goddamn consulting with Gucci Mane on Pooh, like, yeah, man, Pooh need this, bro. This shit might go this way, it might go that way, it might go over here, but we're trying to get it over there. And to damn, now Pooh, we gotta go against this nigga. We gotta take Gucci down. Gucci trying to take you down, fool. And we was in here, he was in here worried about your case. Now that nigga on your case. Like, god damn, man. Look how the motherfucking corner flip, man, in life.
What was going to be. So I knew they had a contractual relationship. And
You robbed the wrong nigga, Pooh. You should left this nigga alone, man. Dang. You should left this nigga alone, man. You could been still flexing with the money, man.
also do a lot of work for artists that are signed to Atlantic Records. And I know that both Pooh and Gucci are signed to Atlantic Records ultimately. So how it works is usually an artist is signed to a label and then they create their own label that the head label actually owns a piece of, and then they go out and sign other individuals. It's kind of like a pyramid, except not illegal, but it's kind of like a pyramid where at the top of the pyramid is
Nigga said this shit like a pyramid scheme. Facts, chat. Fucking record companies, man, this shit like a pyramid scheme. You got the big up here, nigga, but they own some of Gucci. But Gucci owns some of Pooh, but the big people own some of Pooh and Gucci. And that shit a pyramid, illegal pyramid scheme, nigga.
Is the Atlantic Records or Sony, and then below that is usually a really big artist like Gucci or Drake or someone like that, and then that artist usually gets their own label to sign other artists. And that's kind of the relationship that they had, is my understanding.
Is there going to be a denial from your client that there was even a meeting scheduled for that day? Because according to authorities, they say all these parties show up to this recording studio, I'll read directly, at approximately 3:43 p.m. Williams Jr., Williams Sr., Wright, Johnson, Waters, Rogers, Gibson, Glover, McDaniel entered the east side of the office building. They say, according to this affidavit, there are apparent stills from surveillance footage that allegedly documents this. And we'll get into this a little bit more, but the affidavit also says there are photos of the alleged suspects purportedly leaving the building and getting into these cars believed to be connected to them, traveling northbound after this incident. To me, if they have the footage or the supposed footage, is it just, I mean, the comings and goings, it's going to be hard, I imagine, hard to deny that there was some sort of meeting that day, right, at the studio.
So it just depends on what the evidence is going to produce. You know, like a defendant always has the right to remain silent. I always wait to see what the evidence is before I facilitate or think about a defense or what I have to hold the government to their burden, right? So the government has the burden to prove the case. I don't have to prove anything.
Right.
The government always has that burden. So once we get all of the discovery, which we have not gotten.
You have to prove that nigga innocence, fool. What the hell he talking about? That nigga said he don't gotta prove nothing. Bitch, you the defense lawyer. You got, what the fuck this nigga talking about? What's up, Frank? The fuck this nigga talking about, Frank? That nigga said he don't gotta prove nothing. Man, what you say, Frank? I can't see this shit, man. You said what? And my chat tripping, bro. I see some shit you wrote, but I can't see that shit you wrote. I'm gonna have to see that shit in a minute. I don't know why that shit acting goofy, man. You said something about the lag. You said line, but something. Okay. I see you saying pyramid scheme. Hell yeah, that shit a pyramid scheme, nigga. You signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that signed to some more niggas. How the fuck that work? Then they got all this evidence in this timings and shit, dog. But hold on, what this nigga was saying?
I've seen some still photos, and this
It's hard to deny that there was some sort of meeting that day, right, at the studio.
So it just depends on what the evidence.
Williams Jr., Williams Sr., Wright, Johnson, Waters, Rogers, Gibson, Glover, McDaniel entered the east side of the office building.
East side?
They say, according to this affidavit, there are apparent stills from surveillance footage that allegedly documents this, and we'll get into this a little bit more.
I mean, they only really got his daddy's face on camera. Everybody else got masks on. Did you really identify a nigga in a mask?
But the affidavit also says there are photos of the alleged
like all these niggas got masks on.
Suspects purportedly leaving the building and getting into these cars believed to be connected to them, traveling northbound after this incident. To me, if they have the footage or the supposed footage, is it just, I mean, the comings and goings, it's going to be hard, I imagine, hard to deny that there was some sort of meeting that day, right, at the studio.
Man, it's 8 motherfuckers in here. What's happening, man? Y'all chilling with me? 9? Okay, 9, 8. LosothaBigUno. Man, wipe your feet in my door, man. I got carpet in her. Hit the like button, man. Hit the sub button. You fucking with me, you ain't got nowhere else to be. Here with me. Let's get it, man. We running down Shiesty, man. Shiesty lawyer speaking. Why he got on cheetah glasses, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to be drippy. I have no idea why this man has on motherfucking cheetah print. Maybe them like some YSL glasses. Like, we might need to Google this nigga glasses. He might be some $1 million glasses, gang. Like, this nigga got on some, look at this guy. Shiesty lawyer got drip, bitch. You heard me. I gave it up. You dripping, bitch. You know what I'm saying? The women glasses. the cheetah women glasses, bro. Is they YSL or XS? Was they Louis V? What them is? What them is, man? Cashmere? What them is, man? We gonna have to Google this nigga shades, man. I ain't even know that boy got them shades on, boy. We gonna have to call that boy Shades. Pooh Shiesty lawyer, new name is Shades, fool. That nigga name Shades, fool. That nigga she lit.
So it just depends on what the evidence is going to produce. You know, like a defendant always has the right to remain silent. I always wait to see what the evidence is before I.
What's up with the DK? What that say? DK? DK? I don't know, but I don't know if I'm saying your shit right, bro. But what's happening with it, Pim? You heard me? Fast, though. That nigga got them shades, bro. Call that boy Shades. You heard me? That boy got the cheetah print on in the interview. In the interview with Law and Crime Network. Like, he went on my big screen with this shit. That boy got drip. You heard me?
I facilitate or think about a defense or what I have to hold the government to their burden, right? So the government has the burden to prove the case. I don't have to prove anything.
That nigga said he don't gotta prove nothing. I ain't never heard lawyers say that shit. What you for then? Like, why you here? If you ain't gotta prove nothing, why we need you, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? What we need that nigga for? Man, hit that like, hit that sub, but man, this LosothaBigUno, fool. You ain't got nowhere to be, chill with me. You know how black people say, you know, wipe your feet at the door, hit that like button, man, hit that sub. Man, share this shit. You ain't got nothing else to do. But we running down this shit. Shades, man. That's Pooh Shiesty lawyer name, Shades. That boy got the cheetah print YSLs on.
Right.
The government always has that burden. So once we get all of the discovery, which we have not gotten.
Boy, this shit got 80,000 views. My boy came on her for he was ready.
I've seen some still photos, and the still photos aren't great. There's no video from inside the actual studio itself. There's some cell phone data and things of that nature that
I mean, seriously, this could be a fucking motorcycle game. this look like a fucking GTA. This look like GTA, nigga. This a Grand Theft Auto motorcycle game, fool. They all got the same patches on their back. What that shit was called? That shit was good too. With the white boy, man. I don't forgot the white boy with the damn, man, in the motorcycle game. I chat what you know that shit. What that shit is? Sons of Anarchy, man. All right, man, it look like some shit like that. This Jackson him, fool. That nigga look like Jax. That's his daddy over there, this Jack daddy. You feel me? Look like some Sons of Anarchy shit, bro. This could be anybody. This could be white people. This cause they got a mask on, the Animal Kingdom. What the hell that is? DCO? What the hell the Animal Kingdom is? Nah, it's called, what you meant to say, all your son of anarchy, man? And so, hey, yeah, them with them boys, man. This could be some white people. Like, this could not be shiesty them.
It's certain individuals within 100-yard or 500-yard radius. I don't know what their label is yet, because again, we didn't get that discovery. But it should put those individuals in the area. And then these two vehicles that leave that area, one of the vehicles is associated with Lontrell's father, allegedly, and one of the other vehicles is associated with some other individuals that they're making claims against. So I won't know what the specific defense is in
Shades. You heard me, Shades, gang, Shades. Animal King, something like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch that shit, my boy. You might put me on some shit. The Sons of Anarchy go hard, except that Mexican version. That shit weak as fuck. That shit weak 7 days, you heard me? But the first one, that shit go hard, boy. white racist motherfuckers and shit, but that shit go hard though. But Shade, this my boy Shade though. Fuck that. Man, I wanna Google these bitches, man. Like, my nigga got that drip on, man. Well, appreciate that sub, my nigga. DK, you heard me? Appreciate that sub, boy. We in here. Uno gang, you just joined Uno gang, boy. You gang now. I'm fucking with you. Come through here now. Don't be subbing and don't be coming through. Man, sub and come through here. Fuck with your boy, man. I'm on her. I'm on her. I'm trying to get me some shade like this. I'm trying to get me some glasses like this. Fuck what you talking about. I'm trying to get some glasses like this right here. Fact. I wonder how much these bitches cost, man. I wonder can I Google Pooh Shiesty lawyer glasses, man? Can I? Man, fuck that, man. No. This ain't it, man. Man, I'm trying to get these joints, man. Do I have to screenshot them bitches and search them, man? Like, what's going on, man? I get these with them on Temu. Well, he got these on Temu? Nah, no Temu. Nah. Appreciate that, DK. You heard me. Hell yeah, come through. You do content, nigga. I come through on your shit, bro. I don't be having shit to do. I need some new shit to watch. And I need these glasses, fool. I need these shades.
So we see all.
Hey, if you find these shades, I'm trying to get like Pooh Shiesty lawyer, man. AKA Shades, nigga. I'm trying to get
the discovery. So yeah, sitting here with you, you know, it could be they have a great picture of Pooh Shiesty walking inside the building, and you can clearly see it's him. Then it would be silly to say it's not. But if they don't have that kind of evidence, if they can't produce the kind of evidence that's needed to carry the burden, then that's something that needs to be explored. So I don't know yet.
Totally fair. So in other words, you're not confirming or denying whether or not he was at the studio, or whether or not there was a contract dispute, or what the nature of that day was about, right? So that's basically.
Sure, and it would be irresponsible and stupid of me to say, hey, listen.
Man, shout out to the truck drivers, man. DK said he driving trucks, man. Shout out to you, fool. Be careful on that highway, man. Fucking with me, man. You can watch me all night, fool. I be up like fucking 1, 2, 3 in the morning, man. We be streaming 5, 6, 7 hours. Me and my nigga T and Journey, man, we was up in this motherfucker like 7 hours the other day, man. Fuck it. Why not?
We're not going to deny this. Start giving up things that.
And if I get these shades, nigga, I might be in on this motherfucker a little bit more. I might be up here a little bit more. I get these goddamn shades this lawyer got, man. I'm telling you, man. I get these motherfuckers, man, that nigga got drill, man.
I don't know whether or not they can prove or not prove.
And look, totally fair what you can and cannot say and what you want to say or not say. Totally fair. I'm just going to go through it with you. Before we go any further.
There's no secrets between us.
No secrets. No secrets.
You and I, there's no secrets.
It's like this. It's like this. Which, by the way, just before we go in more back into the government's claims, you mentioned this alleged diss track, right? So there were reports that Gucci Mane allegedly recorded this diss track against Pooh Shiesty. I believe it's called Crash Dummy. I'm going to read you some of the lyrics. Tell you the truth, you went out like a real crash dummy.
Yeah, this shit crazy. How the lawyer gonna answer this shit? Like, yeah, not only did he give you a statement, you know he dropped the diss track that corroborated the statement. Like, man, no, the feds gonna use this the law and crime network right here. They using the diss track. No, this shit finna be in court. No question.
And after all that, boy, you still signed to me. I walk in the room, you can feel the pressure building. Blank dapped me up there. Whole time they plotting against me. Thoughts on that? Client's thoughts on that?
You know, what I was surprised at is what's not in the diss track. And what's not in the diss track is any mention of a gun, any mention of, allegedly a Draco, which was used.
He said they set him up, man. Said, and his fat ass flunky blocked the door and shit. He gave a pretty detailed goddamn version of what happened on beat, on the Zaytoven beat. That rhyme. Shit was crazy.
Which is a shorter
First time in history. First time in rap, trap. Streets is dead, nigga. This shit is crazy.
version of a long AK-47. No mention of those things. And let me tell you, there's a lot of words that rhyme with gun and Draco because they've been in every rap from here to Kingdom Come. When you have rappers that talk about, you know, these so-called drill rappers that talk about shootings and things of that nature.
It's a lot of words that rhyme with guns and Draco. I didn't know that shit. What rhyme? What? It's that Pooh license. Nigga said, DK said, goddamn Pooh Shiesty, goddamn lawyer finna send him back to prison. You heard me? Facts. That nigga said it's a lot of runners that run with guns and Draco, you know? Gucci didn't say that. He didn't say nothing about a gun. The fuck? This nigga just... Nigga dropped the detail, goddamn me. Man, that boy was on the goddamn ankle monitor, sir. What about that? We gonna talk about the ankle monitor in federal probation. Halfway house. We gonna skip all this shit. Guwap didn't have to snitch though. That was fucked up. But I don't know. He was kind of forced to snitch. I don't think you could have no contract that ain't notarized or nothing though. So I don't know, man. I don't know how contract work. We need a real lawyer, like a music lawyer. I'm gonna have to go Google some music lawyer shit. Like, do you need, after nigga sign some shit, do you need like a witness or a notary or some shit? I thought you had to get this shit notarized. I didn't know you could just make a nigga sign a contract. Like Gucci said, this ain't either in, this ain't back in the day. That was some crazy shit to say. Like, I never heard this shit, bro. Shout out to DC, bro, for the goddamn me sub. You heard me? Shout out Jacob for the sub. DC with a circle on it, man. You might as well hit the chat. You done goddamn me subbed up. You hear me? Might as well, man. Might as well hit the chat, man. You done join Uno game. We in there big. And we trying to get me these shades. I'm trying to scream with these shades on, gang. Y'all fuck with me if I had them on every night. Oh, y'all fuck with me? Y'all fuck with me, I had these shades on every night, man. These look like some women's shades. Why he got on women's shades? Sir. Hold on, man. Maybe I need to change my shit. Yo, let me smooth this shit over. Sir, why the fuck you got on women's shades, good guy? Hey, he up in the Zoom call. It'd be funny. He ain't got nothing but some boxes on. The nigga in his underwear and some goddamn cheetah print shades and a business top. This nigga got a goddamn business top on, man, lying and shit. Oh no, we don't know what the Gucci could have goddamn. I don't know.
Allegedly recorded this diss track against Pooh Shiesty. I believe it's called Crash Dummy.
And they didn't even say nothing about no Draco in there, so you can't even believe the goddamn diss song. He didn't say nothing about no gun. What? Man, this motherfucker gave a goddamn that nigga gave a motherfucking play-by-play, gang.
Read you some of the lyrics. Tell you the truth, we went out like a real crash dummy, and after all that, boy.
Shout out Mark Singleton, man. He said good work, keep it up, man. Appreciate it, my nigga. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get it, my ninja. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get these shades. Hold on. And I'm trying. I'm gonna let it play. But I'm trying to get these shades, man. Y'all find them on Temu. Send me the link. Put the link in the chat.
He's still
Nigga, I'm
signed
trying
to
to get
me.
these
I
goddamn
walk in the
shades,
room.
man.
You can feel the pressure building. Blanked at me up there. Whole time they plotted against me. Thoughts on that? Client's thoughts on that?
You know, what I was surprised at is what's not in the diss track. And what's not in the diss track is any mention of a gun, any mention of, allegedly a Drake.
Any mention of those shades, my nigga, you have to give us the plug. Like, we gotta, is this Baron what's his name? Brian Crawford? What that nigga name is, man? Do that nigga got? What that nigga name is, man? Go back, man. Brian Crawford. Brian Corn. Bradford. Okay, Bradford. Bradford Cohen has a goddamn Instagram. Bradford. You gotta be on some gang shit to find a nigga named Bradford, man. Hold on, man. Can we find this boy? He got an Instagram. That boy with the drip, he might be fucking with Saul Walker now, man. What's going on? Goddamn. Come on, man. I got it. What's up, man? They ain't got Bradford over there, motherfucker. Damn, man. I thought. What's going on, man? Well, we trying to see what the drip like on Instagram, man. Do the nigga Bradford got an Instagram? Do that nigga, bro? Nah, I don't think that's him right there. That's like, nah, that ain't him neither. That's some fake shit. I think I seen that shit. Low Ronin? What? Damn, this my boy Paige. Okay, then my boy. Okay, big drip. What it is? They got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers. Got my Vans on, but okay. Let's bring this shit up. Let's bring this shit up one time, y'all. I want to let y'all see this shit. Man, that boy got them Vans on, but they look like sneakers. Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers. That goddamn black man, that nigga Brian got that motherfucking drip, man. Bradford got that Bradford? Years old and multiple pounds ago. Okay. That boy rocking $1 million Vans back in the day. All right, nigga. Okay. Is this Tiger Woods, y'all? Tiger Woods, y'all.
I was looking down on my phone. I'm ready to change the radio station. And
is he Tiger Woods, Lloyd? What's going on? Why he posting Tiger like that? Oh, this nigga Tiger Woods, Lloyd, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all.
All right, let's talk about Tiger Woods and his DUI. He was arrested for a DUI in Jupiter, Florida, which is a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale, a lot north of Miami, and that is where he lives. Allegedly, he was driving a Range Rover. The Range Rover flipped over. There were some pictures of him outside the Range Rover on his phone. There's a mugshot picture.
But what you get them glasses from, though?
Of him where they're saying he has red bloodshot eyes, but if you look at the picture above, generally speaking, this kid has red bloodshot eyes. Like, his eyes are not always clear.
It's like he got crow's feet around his eyes. Damn.
And that could be because he's out in the sun all the time. There's a lot of different reasons for that.
Yeah.
Long story short is they arrest him for a DUI, suspicion of being
got
under the
trophy,
influence of
boy.
alcohol,
Look at that nigga
allegedly,
boy.
because they ask him to
Goddamn.
blow. Surprise, surprise, he blows
Goddamn,
all
boy.
zeros. And then
Need some goddamn Asian cream, my boy. Goddamn, boy. Look at your eye, boy. Goddamn, boy. Shit. You old, boy. Goddamn. What? How old Tiger Woods, y'all? How old Tiger?
of course, the officer changes the
Man,
narrative. And
fuck that, man. We trying to steal your drip, nigga. Man, he talking about Afro, man. What the fuck? Afro motherfucker.
all right, let's talk about Afro Man and
Afro motherfucking M.A.N. Man, what the fuck?
the lawsuit that I thought was a complete joke. I said that they would.
This nigga Pooh Shiesty lawyer everywhere. Damn, he on Instagram making shorts and shit. He trying to go viral. He got 103K. Alright, Bradford. Okay. He said this isn't a good look in front of the jury. Man, fuck that, Bradford. We're trying to get that drip, man. He got Godfrey on his page. What he know about Godfrey? Oh, Bradford might got a little soul in him. Okay. That explain the glasses. Okay. Alright. That nigga. Oh, and he fuck with Pooh. Alright. He fuck with Pooh Shiesty and Godfrey. Alright. That nigga might know some shit.
So, Learn More, who's a Zimbabwean comedian, you know, he's the America's Got Talent champion. He's won lots of awards. He is being sued by Lebo M, who is the composer of that song, Circle of Life. He's being sued for 27.
The Circle of Life. Talking about this shit from The Lion King? Zumba. They talking about this shit from that? Damn, boy, we got that nigga Bradford be on his shit, bro. He on Afro Mans. This nigga Bradford, the motherfucker, man. Even though he look like a spotted liver right there. It's alright, Brad. It's alright. Damn, Kodak Black. That nigga Bradford got on all the lawsuits, man. Let's go back over here, though. You ain't dripping on Instagram. I don't know what this white man with the pale bald head look. Oh, but what the? Oh, okay. Let me take that back. I'm sorry, Bradford. That boy got that motherfucking mirror on. Okay.
All right, let's talk about Offset's shooting at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. That's my neck of the woods. I don't go out to Hard Rock very often.
Okay.
But when I do.
Okay. All right. We fucking with Pooh Lawyer, man. That boy got that motherfucking mirror on, boy. He got that motherfucking mic. And I ain't talking about Michael Jordan, nigga. You heard me. That boy got that motherfucking, that boy dripping, boy. That boy dripping, DD. Boy, he got the motherfucking, hold on, let's take, man, that nigga got motherfucking, see, pretty shit. Shit, man, that nigga Pooh Lawyer about that shit, man. On gang, nigga. On gang, I'm fucking with Bradford. We call that nigga B-Rad. But that's B-Rad Jeezy, nigga. You heard me from the boo. That nigga from Malibu. Represent, you know what I'm saying? B-Rad. That boy got the motherfucking YSL, cheetah print, motherfucking Zambumba fool. You know, I'm dressing in Zabumba fool, man. That hood red Pablo one. You hear me? Like, I see you, Brad. I see you. Then he got the motherfucking mirror. Man, Brad got more mirror than Lil Baby, man. Man, Brad got more mirror than man, we ain't gonna play with Brad like that.
And what's not in the diss track is any mention of a gun, any mention of allegedly a Draco, which was used, which is a shorter version of a.
You got on Gucci, nigga. Brad walking a mirror, guy.
Long AK-47. No mention of those things. And let me tell you, there's a lot of words that rhyme with gun and Draco because they've been in every rap from here to Kingdom Come. When you have rappers that talk about, these so-called drill rappers that talk about shootings and things of that nature.
What the hell rhyme with Draco? Faco? Mako? What the fuck?
I was surprised that it didn't have more detail in terms of like guns were used or things of that nature. I never have an opinion on someone's record or song or diss track because I feel like an artist is going to say what an artist says, and that's from their point of view, and it's from what they feel occurred at any type of situation or something that didn't occur that they feel might sell records. So I don't know. So for me to say like, oh, I was worried about it, not worried about it, I just don't care. It shouldn't really come into play.
So you don't think it necessarily might be coming into evidence in any way?
No.
I hope not, man. Okay, nigga, what's the name? B-Rad? B-Rad said no. B-Rad, a.k.a. Shade, said they shouldn't use the diss song, man. So hopefully, Gucci ain't in that nigga Pooh Shiesty career like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully he didn't do that. Damn, that nigga TK Curry, what? This gangster, man. This some gangster shit. Y'all. Thank y'all for stalking by fucking with me, man. We on some gangster shit, bro. When you diss a nigga on the track and then say everything you told the police, some gangster shit right here, man. Then when your goddamn lawyer get up here with these shades, Drip. You got a lawyer wearing a mirror and dripping in YSL cheetah goddamn print? Oh, man. Come on, man. You gonna win, man. He understand the culture. He understand Pooh. Look at these. He understand Pooh, man.
I don't think the only time it would come into evidence is if Gucci Mane was to take the stand and say, I don't recall what happened that night. I was on medication or I was drinking and I was on medication. I'm not positive, however.
Yeah, man, he is on medication. Maybe he said he was having a schizophrenic episode. What? He say he could have, they say he could have a schizophrenic, man. He thought that had happened, but that ain't really happened. Like, I don't know.
Everything went down or something of that nature, then the prosecutor might be able to use that in some sort of impeachment. But other than that, it's not just coming in as evidence. If he doesn't, if he says he shows up and he goes, yeah, I remember it's kind of a little hazy, but I remember some things, then it's not coming in if he testifies the way the song plays out.
Let me go through the main allegations from this incident, and then we'll get a little bit more into this. So there is allegedly, according to the government, an argument, and they claim it ends up with Williams Jr., again, Pooh Shiesty, being accused of taking out a black AK-style pistol, pointing it at RD, presumably Gucci Mane, demanding he sign the contract release paperwork. RD allegedly complied, signed it, and then there is the claim that RD was not allowed to leave as he was held at gunpoint. So there's allegations that Wright also allegedly recorded RD signing the paperwork and being forced to say that he released Williams Jr. from the contract. And then afterwards, it's alleged that Williams Jr. took RD's wedding ring and watch and earrings and cash. It was alleged that other defendants took out guns too and demanded property from other alleged victims. There was an allegation that McDaniel threatened to shoot BP, that MM was choked to the point that he nearly passed out. And embedded in the complaint are what appear to be photos allegedly showing cuts or abrasions on MM's neck and wrist. And there's also a claim that his wallet and watches, a Louis Vuitton bag, headphones, they were stolen. And then I'm just going to read this part verbatim and then we'll get into it. Quote, RD was pushed onto the couch in the control room, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Williams Jr. placed the barrel of a firearm to the back of BP's head and ordered him and RD to leave the control room and the studio through the west entrance of the office building. RD then instructed CW and TD to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, MM turned to Williams Jr. and asked him if they were really taking his watches. Based on later recovered surveillance video footage, the target suspects left the studio and the office building through the east entrance at approximately 4:48 p.m. So a bunch of questions here. Bradford, I'll first start with this. If this alleged recording of RD signing the contract against his will, what should we be thinking about that?
So far I haven't seen the recording, nor does anyone have a copy of the recording as of now. I don't know if there ever will be a copy of that recording. There has been no copy of the alleged contract that has been signed, nor has one been provided during the bond hearing, and they have actually said they don't know if one even exists. They suppose one exists. That's...
Damn, so Gucci Mane could have been just having a schizophrenic episode and been lying? And that shit done got Pooh and them locked up. But what the hell they were doing at the studio that day though? Cause ain't no music was recorded.
That part of it. Then the interesting part about, hey, am I really having my watches stolen? That's kind of a weird statement to be made between these individuals. And then what I think also is really important is the sloppiness of the complaint. At the beginning of the complaint, if you read, it says, this robbery occurred at approximately 4:50 p.m. at this address. Then later on in the complaint, it says they all left at 4:48 p.m. at this address. So even the sloppiness of the complaint is quite shocking when it comes to someone who's getting charged with a life felony. That's just one mistake that was made in that complaint. There's others that were made and contradictions that happened during that complaint that were very unusual. But there's also another part where they say that Lantrell Pooh held this gun to somebody's head and said all these different things. And then there's another part of the complaint that says, actually, he told one guy, hey, put your gun down, don't shoot this guy or something like that. So there's a lot of contradicting statements that were made within the complaint, not to mention how sloppy the complaint was put together. And during the bond hearing, I think very smartly, they had the FBI agent that actually wrote that complaint. She's only been an FBI agent for 3 years. They had her in the courtroom, but they didn't want to put her on the stand to be cross-examined. They put another FBI agent who was like a 16-year FBI agent. They put her on the stand to testify as to what the other FBI agent wrote in her complaint. The whole thing was quite unusual, and like I said, it's weird that they would do this without an indictment and just a complaint, but I have my suspicions as to why.
Well, this goes back to something that else you mentioned. It seems a lot of this is based on the witness accounts, right? Not of what happened or allegedly happened in that studio. And you mentioned something earlier I want to explore. You're saying these alleged victims told local law enforcement what happened or allegedly happened, but they didn't speak with the FBI. So two questions about that. One, based as far as you know, is what's listed in the government's claims, is that accurate from the reports that were filed by local PD? And two, why wouldn't they speak to the FBI if that's true?
So the first part of that is I don't know, because the reports that I got from that evening from the Dallas PD are completely redacted, meaning it looks like, you know, it's a sea of black that is on all these reports. So
what? Why would she be blacked out, my nigga? Like, that's... Ah, man, what the fuck?
The reports from that evening don't give me a lot of detail as to what exactly was said or who said it. That's the first portion. So I can't tell you whether or not it's accurate to the complaint. I can tell you the complaint is rather sloppy in terms of what each person said and where things took place. But putting that aside, that's the first part of that. Why wouldn't they talk to the FBI? It could be sometimes something happens and you feel some sort of way that night, and then time goes by and you start to consider my options and how this is going to go, and that I have to be at kind of the FBI's beck and call, subpoenaed to come to Dallas, Texas, subpoenaed on phone calls and different memorandums and different things that going forward. And, you know, it's quite unusual. The hip hop rap world looks at snitching in different ways And sometimes people say everything is snitching. There's one guy who's on, he's got a podcast. He thinks everything's snitching. You know, if you plea, it's snitching. If you do this, it's snitching. So people are really divided as to, like, you know, these guys are real gangsters.
Yeah. We don't know. Snitching has got out of hand. We don't know what the fuck snitching is these days, man. It's motherfucker snitching that's a regular civilian. They say motherfucker snitching. They say big meat snitch. Everybody snitch, man. Everybody snitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Snitching. Gucci snitch. And he dropped a song corroborating the snitching. 6ix9ine snitch. Boston Rich is snitch. Finesse 2 times snitch. Everybody snitching, man. It's all good. Fuck. But damn, though, I don't think they got Pooh Shiesty locked up, though. We like Pooh Shiesty, though. Everybody fuck with Shiesty, man. I don't think it's cool to get niggas you like locked up. I don't think it's cool to snitch on niggas you like. Obviously, nobody liked the Young Thug because Gunna going up like a bitch. You heard me? What you say, what you say, Dakio? The CEO? My bad. The CEO? What you say, boy? Said Thug and Gunna, facts. Nobody don't give a fuck about Young Thug. That's why Gunna going up. Nobody care about Thug. Nobody really liked him. So it just, I think the truth just came out about that. Nobody really liked Thug. Gunna was better. I mean, fuck it, man.
But now, on the other hand, they're snitching, and then
And then you snitch, so you can't say nothing. You got a 2-hour interview of snitching. Interrogation video. Shit. Nah, nothing.
people are saying, well, you know, the guy's a businessman now. He's not a street guy. And, you know, that's just the way, you know, you should do business a certain way. There's a lot going on here, a lot of dynamics. So I don't know why they haven't spoken to the FBI in 3 or 4 months. The FBI seems to think it was just a scheduling conflict, which I find extremely hard to believe.
She said that at the bond hearing?
Yeah, she said it, yeah. We just couldn't get together in the past 4 months. There's 5 different witnesses. None of them could even get on Zoom. They couldn't give you anything. Nope. They just were too busy. So, like, you know, I just don't buy that. Now, whether or not going forward they're going to be cooperating and the level of cooperation, that I don't know.
Cooperating is crazy. He said they couldn't get on Zoom. You get on Zoom and snitch on a nigga, you's a dirty motherfucker, man. Look how far we done came in the world today. You can get on Zoom and snitch on a nigga. That shit crazy. He said they couldn't even get on Zoom? Damn. You can Zoom call a nigga and snitch on a nigga. That's crazy these days, man.
You know what I mean? And I don't depend on that on any case. I assume cases are going forward based on the evidence that was presented at a bond, whether or not going forward.
And Pooh Shiesty, the lawyer, got that drill. We ain't gonna forget that. Everybody heard. Please hit the like button. I'm LosothaBigUno, bro. You're here with me. You chilling. Hit the like button. Hit the sub. You ain't got nowhere to be. Chill with me, but wipe your feet at the door, though. I got carpet in here. Wipe your feet at the door. You know what I'm saying? The shit only costs $3.99, bro. Hit the likes, all that shit. And if you in the chat and you can find these motherfucking shades, send me the link, man. Put the link in the comments or the chat, bro. Let me get these, bro. Let's find these shades right here that Pooh Shiesty lawyer got, man. That big got that drill.
They're going to be cooperating.
Man, that big got that drill, man. Bald head, bald nigga, bald head nigga with the cheetah prints. Ooh, nigga, Clark Clint, nigga, Superman on them nigga. Nah, what that nigga now? Lex Luthor. That nigga Lex Luthor, man. He Lex Luthor with the cheetah press, nigga. Man, y'all Google them shits on Temu or something, fam. Temu, where he get these shades in? Is they YSL? Is they Louis Vuitton? Is they Armani? All them hoes on Temu, nigga. Let's find them shades, man. He got that drip, man. We trying to get this drip like this, man. I'm trying to be on screen like that right here, man. What? And he got that motherfucking Amiri on. Let's not forget. And he got that motherfucking Amiri.
All right, let's
Hold on, y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit right there? That boy got that motherfucking big dripper. Big Brian. You heard? Big Brian Clark. What's that nigga name? Bradford. Big Bradford. Big B, man. B-Rad from the Jeezy, man. Malibu. Represent. A nigga from Malibu, nigga.
Operating in the level of cooperation that I don't know. You know what I mean? And I don't depend on that on any case. I assume cases are going forward based on the evidence that was presented at a bond hearing, and I assume that they're
got them Louis Vuittons on right there. Who got them?
Telling me the truth that, they're going to be cooperating. The FBI says they're going to be cooperating. So I can't take it as that they're lying to me. I prepare my case as if they're telling me the truth. Right. Whether or not at trial that ends up being the case, it's usually not.
So I want to now go into a specific piece of alleged evidence about your client that was as part of this filing, and was purportedly used, to a support for the arrest. And so it says, the complaint claims that your client was wearing an ankle monitor because he was serving a sentence, like you mentioned, the prior case, these federal charges, I believe drug and weapons charges, and he was sentenced to home detention. He had to wear an electronic monitoring device. And they say that authorities were able to allegedly use the location data from that device to seemingly track his apparent movements near the crime scene. And I believe they say that the ankle monitor was used to track him and Williams Sr. to a Staples, and the allegation was there that they went to a Staples early in the day to print off that agreement, to print off the contractual release paperwork that they say they were forcing RD to later sign. And the feds also claim that the surveillance video and the GPS data, they put them there. So talk to me about the ankle monitor.
Sure. First, let me just address the state.
Talk to me about printing this shit off at Kinko's, man. What they was it? Staples, Kinko's? Bro, why the fuck y'all ain't got no print at the crib, bro? Come on, man. We ain't that gangster that we don't know how to work no motherfucking computer. Come on with it. We couldn't have got a motherfucking print out of Walmart, dog. Offline. Facebook Marketplace. What? Yeah, it ain't no evidence, man. As long as they don't find the fucking printed copies of the goddamn. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't print this shit at the crib, cuz. Come on, man. We had to go to Walmart, Staples, and Kinko's and shit after the crime. Allegedly. That's all allegedly, man. They have no proof. But he said they got surveillance of them niggas at Staples printing off shit. But you don't know what they would print out. Maybe they would print out some family pictures off their phone. This shit crazy.
Staples thing, like, I don't even care if they're at Staples. Like, they're going to a recording studio, and normally my clients usually print off the lyrics for different individuals. If you have 5 individuals that are going to be on one record and they each have a section or a part, they'll usually print those things off. So I really didn't care about the Staples thing.
Man, who believe that shit, man? Who the fuck print off some lyrics, man? They could have, man, but what they print out, man? You think they print out some lyrics, the CEO? the CEO, head honcho. You think they was at Staples printing out some lyrics for 5 niggas to be on the song? Because let's be honest, they say niggas don't even write lyrics no more. They say niggas just go in there and just punch in and freestyle and shit. But if you was to write some lyrics, who print them shits out? Like, who doing that? Who the fuck print out lyrics, man? That shit sound like some nonsense, man. That shit sound banana. You can make that argument, but let's be honest, man. That shit sound retarded, man. Who the fuck print out some lyrics at the Staples? Man, y'all famous and rich. Why y'all? I know, right? It was the contract. Ain't no evidence though, but god damn, the CEO, that shit was wild, right? These some bitches done went to Staples and Kinko's and talking about they was printing off some goddamn lyrics. Man, nigga ain't printing out. Who the fuck been writing lyrics? This nigga in the halfway house. Big 30 that came from Memphis. All these other niggas come from Memphis. Who the fuck done had time to write lyrics and print them off, man? Huh? They stole the hell. Who the fuck got time? When they was getting AR pistols and shit, who the fuck got time? Hey, we gonna write a song. Hey. We gonna write a song, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
And the elect.
We gonna write a song, nigga, you know, Goo-Wop, you know, he gonna be on that thing, you know what I mean? Come on, man, stop this shit, man. Stop this shit, man. We gonna do a song. Hey, we gonna print out these lyrics, but we planning to rob these motherfuckers. So when we gonna do the song? After we rob these niggas? And take their AirTag jewelry? What happened to the AirTag bag? I hope this dude ask about that. Because I ain't heard nothing about that. We ain't got nothing but 10 minutes left for this goddamn thing. Shades, Pooh Shiesty lawyer. Like, no cap, nigga. Like, I want to know that shit, nigga. Cause they said they took a whole bunch of Rolex watches with AirTags and shit on them. Like, did that shit just disappear? Is we not bringing it up? What the fuck? What happened to that?
Electronic monitor, again, people will tell me, oh, we have this data. This is the data that we have. And then when I get it, it's typically not what they represent. Now, I don't know. It could be exactly what they represent. And if it is, then we'll deal with it. Then, then we don't say a certain defense of, oh, well, he wasn't there or he was in the area or whatever it is. We have to create the defense and create a way to make sure that they're held to their burden, the government. So it doesn't matter what they say, it's matter what they have. So yes,
was he wearing a monitor? Do you know?
Yes, he was wearing an electronic monitor. And if they have the data and the data is accurate, then we deal with that. But I don't know if that's the case. I had a murder case that I got dismissed that was in Tampa where they're like, hey, this phone, it puts him right at the scene at the time of the shooting. Then I get the data, it puts him within 350 yards of the scene somewhere near the time of the shooting. So it's like, it's always some little twist on what they say and what I get. There's usually a difference. Now, I don't know if that's the case here. It might not be. So I have to see what the actual evidence is first, and then I'll deal with it.
Let's talk about the vehicle ID and cell phone record evidence. So the affidavit claims that Wright's father owns a 2020 Dodge Charger Hellcat with Tennessee plates. And authorities allegedly used license plate readers to track the Charger following another car, Dodge Ram, at 2:18 p.m. on January 10th. Then they claim that the Dodge Ram looks like the one on surveillance video near the studio, near the crime scene later that afternoon. They apparently used the license plate readers to also link the Charger traveling close to a white Buick Enclave, and through rental records, they determined that that enclave was rented by Williams Sr. And the cell phone records for Williams Jr., again, your client and others, and the telematics location data for the cars.
All right, man, this all the learning process, though. If you gonna do some crime, and it gonna be like 9 of y'all, don't travel together, nigga. You go that way, I'm going this way, nigga. We'll all meet around there somewhere. You heard me? Like, these niggas was obviously traveling close together. From one car, they tracked one Hellcat to goddamn 3 cars. The Dodge Ram, well, 2 cars, the Dodge Ram and the Buick. I done tracked a Charger to them 2. Because every time them motherfucker moved, they was close to it. So just go the other way. Just don't travel together. Let one nigga go first, and then you go the opposite direction and let the GPS lead you to that motherfucker the long way. You know what I mean? Pee-wee.
As well as the GPS data from the electronic monitoring device, authorities claim they're tracking them the journey from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas, Texas, that the electronic monitoring device allegedly aligns with the records, tracking to Windrose Tower, where Williams Jr. was allegedly residing, traveling to the alleged crime scene, when they allegedly left the scene, going to the Comfort Inn at one point. And, by the way, with the Comfort Inn, authorities allegedly have rental records from the rooms and surveillance footage allegedly showing them at this location, and that some of the defendants were wearing clothes that were very similar to what the suspects were allegedly wearing at the studio based on the surveillance footage. So I know that's a lot, Bradford, but basically it's digital evidence, right? It's surveillance, it's rental records, it's cars, GPS. Talk to me about that.
So long story short is if all of that is true, the most that does is put everyone at the scene, right? It still doesn't say if a robbery occurred, doesn't say that a kidnapping occurred. In fact, the jurisdictional element of this is really troublesome because they don't put in the dates of that the travel from Tennessee to Dallas. Now, kidnapping is very specific. You have to travel
federal
kidnapping. You have to travel in order to complete the crime that you are accused of. These guys were there for a week or a week and a half recording songs and doing all this stuff. So like the jurisdictional element, they don't even address where Pooh actually lives in Dallas. The alleged victim came to Dallas willingly, which again, that's an element of kidnapping that's not there. All these different things about jurisdiction. At the bond hearing, they were like, well, if they used a cell phone to record this signing, then that's the Commerce Clause, and it affects interstate commerce. The problem with that is there's specific case law that the cell phone would have to be used in furtherance of the kidnapping. So filming someone and then sending it to Bob Smith and saying, hey, if you don't pay me a ransom, here's the video of your guy, that's in furtherance of the
What?
crime. Filming someone allegedly signing a contract is not in furtherance of the crime. So they're going to have a lot of problem with jurisdiction. I know they're scrambling to try and make sure to shore that up with jurisdiction. But the basic is they found no gun, so they can't say whether or not the gun was made in Texas. If the gun was made in Texas, it doesn't affect interstate commerce. They found no ammo. If the ammo was made in Texas, doesn't affect interstate commerce. The only phone that was used in any of this was this alleged recording, which no one has, and they can't say that affected the actual kidnapping. So they have a problem there. They have a problem going back and forth throughout this case with jurisdiction in terms of proving that the phone or something in interstate commerce was used in furtherance of the kidnapping.
So I think we can all agree, chat, if Pooh Shiesty win this shit gonna get awkward, man, cause he ain't gonna go away for all them years. He might get a little violation for being mentioned in a crime, but then he might not. Like that might let all this shit go. Like if that nigga get out, man, go out. What that look like? Pooh Shiesty free and you free. But he still signed to you, but you done tried to get his ass locked up. Like, what that gonna look like, man? You might as well let him out the contract, man. If he get free, you might as well let him out, dog. It's gonna be, y'all gonna have to be hella police in that hoe just to have a little meeting. Like, you feel me? Like, this shit gonna be weird. It gonna be weird. The CEO say he gonna beat that shit. I hope he do, man. You know, we don't want to see no mans in jail, gang. Why the fuck my camera keeps turning, man? We don't want to see no mans in jail, but god damn. Damn, gang. Go out trying to put him in there. But if he beat this shit, cause it is kind of like a lot of unless somebody snitch. If nobody don't snitch, who might got it? Niggas get up in there trying to be like gonna be like, I admit that goddamn such and such. If I get a deal, and then that's when it gonna go down. Then gang, gonna go down.
That's going to be a real problem for them, which they don't address. And all these complaints, all these indictments, they're very heavy on what they have because they want to make like, oh, we got them here, we got them here, we got them here. What they don't have is they have no guns, they have no ammo, they have no contract, they have no video inside the studio. They have no other witnesses besides only the alleged victims. There were 2 other witnesses in there. Those witnesses say, we didn't hear anything, we didn't.
Basically, it's digital evidence, right? It's surveillance, it's rental records, it's cars, GPS. Talk to me about that.
So long story short is if all of that is true, the most that does is put everyone at the scene, right? It still doesn't say if a robbery occurred, doesn't say that a kidnapping occurred. In fact, the jurisdictional element of this is really troublesome because they don't put in the dates of the travel from Tennessee to Dallas. Now, kidnapping is very specific. You have to travel federal kidnapping. You have to travel in order to complete the crime that you are accused of. These guys were there for a week or a week and a half recording songs and doing all this stuff. So like the jurisdictional element, they don't even address where Pooh actually lives in Dallas. The alleged victim came to Dallas willingly, which again, that's an element of kidnapping that's not there. All these different things about jurisdiction. At the bond hearing, they were like, well, if they used a cell phone to record this signing, then that's the Commerce Clause, and it affects interstate commerce. The problem with that is there's specific case law that the cell phone would have to be used in furtherance of the kidnapping. So filming someone and then sending it to Bob Smith and saying, hey, if you don't pay me a ransom, here's the video of your guy, that's in furtherance of the crime. Filming someone allegedly signing a contract is not in furtherance of the crime. So they're going to have a lot of problem with jurisdiction. I know they're scrambling to try and make sure to shore that up with jurisdiction. But the basic is they found no gun. So they can't say whether or not the gun was made in Texas. If the gun was made in Texas, it doesn't affect interstate commerce. They found no ammo. If the ammo was made in Texas, doesn't affect interstate commerce. The only phone that was used in any of this was this alleged recording, which no one has, and they can't say that affected the actual kidnapping. So they have a problem there. They have a problem going back and forth throughout this case with jurisdiction in terms of proving that the phone or something in interstate commerce was used in furtherance of the kidnapping. That's going to be a real problem for them, which they don't address. And all these complaints, all these indictments, they're very heavy on what they have because they want to make like, oh, we got them here, we got them here, we got them here. What they don't have is they have no guns, they have no ammo, they have no contract, they have no video inside the studio. They have no other witnesses besides only the alleged victims. There were 2 other witnesses in there. Those witnesses say, we didn't hear anything, we didn't see anything, no one told us anything. One of them's the owner of the studio. One of them, I think, is an intern from the studio. And this isn't a massive, big studio. There's a couple different recording studios, but these were the only guys recording there. So it wasn't like they were checking on other studios to see how everyone's doing. There's only one group there. So it's unusual that they didn't hear anything or see anything. The whole thing is weird. And like the fact that MM says to, walks towards the door with everyone and says, hey, are you guys really taking my watches? That doesn't sound like me, that someone that was almost going to get shot in the face then says, hey, by the way, are you really taking my watches? That sounds crazy to me.
So I would counter that as a counter argument.
Yes, counter it.
So the purported injuries on MM, couple that with the idea of what we mentioned. If all that digital data is true, it might place them at the location. But this is the part that we haven't talked about. Last part, I want to get your point on. It's the social media accounts. So authorities, what they did was they compared the descriptions of, let's say, Williams Jr. from the accounts of the alleged victims to an Instagram account, @Pooh Shiesty. So allegedly, there you go, showing a match. This is who we described, this is what it is. But then they end up doing that for others. So they say Williams Sr., Wright, Waters, and how there are these photos of them together online, how they match allegedly state IDs with the accounts too. And for the suspects, Rogers and Glover, they allegedly matched the surveillance footage with social media posts of them allegedly possessing the things that were reportedly stolen, like a Rolex watch and a pendant. They're very, very specific items. So the argument would be very unlikely that they would have the exact same thing. And so they're basically, the argument is they're flaunting it after this alleged kidnapping robbery. And also, the authorities looked at surveillance footage, saw what the suspects were wearing, and matched it to the descriptions of the clothes the suspects were wearing.
Damn, that was crazy work. Like, why? That looked like a girl right there. Did a girl was with him? Hell nah.
On their social media accounts. So it's the social media activity that authorities are using to tie in the identities of the suspects and what they allegedly had in their possession after the kidnapping robbery.
Sure. So one thing is, and I thought this was very interesting, it looked like Gucci came out with the exact stuff that was allegedly stolen, saying like, here's my chain and here's something else. I think that he actually showed like some jewelry that was allegedly stolen and that it was still in his possession. That's the first.
How the fuck he gonna show some jewelry that was stolen that was still in his possession? What?
First unusual part. The second unusual part of that is the watches and things of that nature. All the government could say is it looked the same as the one that was taken. This watch looks the same as the one that was taken. They can't say whether or not it is that watch. And in fact, on one of them, where they said, I think it was like a Rolex with a Jubilee band. I forgot the type of Rolex that it was. But they can't say that it is that Rolex. And in fact, that individual who had that watch has a receipt for purchasing that same Rolex. And
damn. Oh, man, this getting tricky, guy. So, if they say them niggas, it said Gucci was dreaming, none of this shit happened. That nigga was having a psychotic episode, fool. He was having some episodes like his album. But nah, let's keep this, man. What? Now I'm lost on this shit, gang. How the fuck? How in the world did this man supposed to be done stole this Rolex from this white man that had the air tag, but he got a receipt for it? Pooh lawyer said some shit then.
in the next picture on his Instagram, it shows the box, the papers, and the receipt for the purchase of that Rolex. So there's a lot of things there that I think might be unusual. It doesn't have every single thing that was taken. I think there was a Rolex and some jewelry that was displayed in some Instagram pictures. And again, those aren't Instagram pictures from Pooh Shiesty. Those are Instagram pictures from other individuals that were allegedly involved.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, thank you from
some lawyer man. You kind of fucked up right there. Just me being a nigga, lawyer man. If individuals that was with Pooh Shiesty is posting shit that seem like they was in a robbery with Pooh Shiesty, Mr. Lawyer Man, I don't think Pooh Shiesty supposed to be near no crime period. So if he on federal parole, probation, whatever, and he in the fucking halfway house, and he got an ankle monitor on, I don't think he's supposed to be around individuals who could have possibly did a crime. Like, they shouldn't even be related to a crime that he was at. Period. But I Mr. Lawyer, man. I like them shades though. Hey, chat, we gotta get these shades, gang. We gotta get the shades.
So much for coming on. Thank you for being a sport to break down the evidence with me. You are.
And this white man, he look a little crazy right there. He look like he enjoying his life. But anyway, La Vida Loca. But anyway though, he ain't never asked him about the AirTag jury. What about the AirTags though? I thought they supposed to have AirTags on them shits and all that.
An incredible lawyer, I just have to tell you. And I really appreciate you taking the time to break this down with me. I really thought it was a fascinating discussion. And we'll see. I mean, again, to be clear, they are all innocent until proven guilty. This is the government's version of events. This is the government's evidence. You're 100% right. They still have to meet their burden. We're in the beginning stages of this, and we will see. But listen, Bradford, you're the best. You're such a gem. Thank you so much for coming on to
Thanks for
I rep BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal. I rep BGE forever. Do the dash, nigga, foot to the pedal.